'Cause right now, what I need is a miracle, and I'm not sure it can happen to me. 'Cause right now, what I need is a miracle.
Hey, Thrive friends. Well, here in Mark 2, we see another one of Jesus' socially undistanced miracles. Socially undistanced because it happens in a crowded house and because this paralyzed man ends up at Jesus' feet. And as in all the miracles, Jesus plays the lead role. But this socially undistanced miracle takes a twist as a supporting cast gets involved in quite a socially undistanced way. These four friends carrying their friend in the story act out the role that we are meant to play in the ongoing miracles of Jesus. The point is this: our role as apprentices of Jesus is to bridge the distance between the miracle of Jesus and a broken world. Now, into the story. Back in 141, Jesus has already gone on record as being both willing and able to heal. And then in verses 1 and 2 of chapter 2, the news has spread, the house is packed, there's an overflowing crowd as Jesus preaches the word. In verse 3, we see these four friends come on the scene carrying their paralyzed friend, which raises all kinds of questions, like where did they get the idea to do this? Had one of them maybe been healed by Jesus? Had they heard Jesus preach and thought maybe the kingdom of God really was breaking in? Or did they just hear that a miracle worker was doing cool tricks? But they came, they brought their friend. And to verse 4, imagine the extreme effort and the crazy commotion of this scene. I mean, there's the crowd, their footsteps from the rooftop. There's stuff that begins to fall from the roof as these four friends tear a hole in the roof. And what's the homeowner thinking? What's the guy whose roof that is? What's on his mind at this moment? N.T. Wright, a New Testament scholar, suggests that Jesus probably is the homeowner. It says in verse 1 that he was back home in Capernaum. It's plausible, even likely, that the house was Jesus's, that the roof that was being torn off belonged to Jesus. All this raises a question for you and me. What would it look like for us to match their effort in bringing someone to Jesus? Let's be challenged by these four friends to work that hard, to pray that hard, to love that deeply for the sake of someone experiencing what Jesus has to give. On to verse 5. 3 crucial words: seeing their faith. Hey, don't miss whose faith it is that catalyzed this miracle. The socially undistanced involvement and action of the four friends is the catalyst for this miracle. Seeing their faith, Jesus acted. One commentator noted that by responding to their faith, Jesus is insisting on the importance of faith communities who bring, carry, support, and believe with one another and for one another. And then in a strange turn of events, inside this miracle story, Jesus forgives the paralyzed man. And at this point, I'm imagining that the four friends kind of scratch their heads and say, Jesus, we didn't really come for that trick. We came for the paralysis. We didn't really want to get into all that other stuff. But Jesus forgives the paralyzed man because Jesus knew in this situation, as in most situations of brokenness, that there are 2 levels of need. There's the presenting need, and there's the deeper need. The presenting need was the paralysis. The deeper need was forgiveness and restoration to God. And then debate breaks out about Jesus forgiving sins. Verses 2 through 10. The religious elites who were there listening in, they knew that forgiveness is God's job. And they knew that to say that you are forgiving if you're not God is blasphemy. But Jesus' authority to forgive, because he is God, Jesus' authority to forgive is about to become as clear as his power to heal. To put it another way, temporal healing and spiritual healing are 2 sides to the same coin. on to verses 10 through 12, we see the dual miracle of healing and forgiveness. Here's the moment in the story where the four friends get what they came for. The paralyzed man gets his double miracle. The crowd is amazed. And Jesus, I believe, smiles this deep inner smile that says, now this is what I'm all about. And then I believe Jesus probably recruited a team of volunteers to help fix his roof. If the gospel is true for you personally, then it's true for the broken world and the hurting people within your reach. It's time for us to bridge the distance between the miracle of Jesus and our broken and hurting world. It's time for us to bridge the distance between the reality of the gospel we know and the need for the gospel in the world out there. As an apprentice of Jesus, you and I are called to be the friend who carries someone to Jesus. To say it in thriving language, you're really thriving when you make sure that what you know to be true about Jesus becomes real and true for the broken world and hurting people around you. Now, 6 ways you can bridge the distance between the miracle of Jesus and our broken world. First, through your vocation. Your vocation is more than your job. It's what you do because of who you are. And let me say this, if you're going to spend the next 30 or 40 years of your life working, then be sure that you're making a difference and not just making a living. When you do a job that heals and restores, that helps, when your work nourishes the flourishing of people and communities and culture and society, then in a very real sense, you're taking the miracle of Jesus to a broken world. Carolyn Moore quotes Howard Thurman saying, "Don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive, and then go do that. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive." What our world needs is for us who know the miracle of Jesus to come alive, bringing healing and forgiveness to life in a broken, sad world. A second way you can bridge the distance is with the people that you'll spend 40 hours a week with during your work life. You know, next to your family, there's not a group of people that you'll spend more time with than your colleagues and coworkers, not even the people you go to church with. So don't waste that opportunity. As you do your job, work for the miracle of Jesus in the lives of your colleagues. Invest in the people that you'll spend 2,000 hours a year with during your career. The cliche is true that you're the only Jesus some will ever see. A Gallup poll just released shows that for the first time ever, a minority of Americans self-report as church members. Now, if just 47% of us claim church membership, then you literally are the only Jesus that some will ever see. Our job is to be the four friends and to bridge the distance between their brokenness, and the miracle of Jesus. Next, bridge the distance by praying for the brokenness of people and situations. When you see or hear about someone's need for healing, don't just give them your sympathy, give them to God in prayer. And when you see a broken relationship that's in need of forgiveness and restoration, ask the Lord to mend that relationship with forgiveness and restoration. Even offer to pray with people on the spot, always in a way that's in their comfort level. Next, bridge the distance for your family. Your family of origin, your parents, your siblings, your extended family, your adopted family, your marriage, your children. Let the Lord see your faith for your family, just as Jesus saw the faith of the four friends. Now, if the miracle we just looked at in Mark 2 is true, then your faith also can be a catalyst for healing and restoration in the lives of your family members. Bridge the distance between the miracle of Jesus and our broken world, even at church. Church should be a body of spiritually sensitive believers who inspire each other to experience more of Jesus' healing and forgiveness. So don't be a passive spectator at church. Be an active player, making the miracle of Jesus happen for others there. And finally, bridge the distance in your community. Ask what's good in your community and cheer it on. Ask what's wrong in your community and address it. Ask where's the struggle in your community and invest your faith in those places of struggle, trusting and believing the Lord to restore and to heal. Let's wrap it up tonight with some classic Tolkien. Is everything sad going to come untrue? Is everything sad going to come untrue? These wonderfully hopeful words come to life on the lips of Samwise Gamgee. Is everything sad going to come untrue? In Mark 2, the four friends knew enough about Jesus to believe that he could make what's sad come untrue. And we know that because of the life and death and resurrection of Jesus, that one day everything sad will come untrue. So, go find someone or something that's broken or sad that needs to come untrue. Be the believing, faithful friend. Bridge the distance between that brokenness and Jesus. And when you do that, Jesus does the miracle. He heals and forgives and restores, and everything sad comes untrue. Friends, it's time for us to thrive like that.
What I need is a